everybody, welcome back to Around the Emirates podcast with Sara Mousa, where I speak to guests from across the UAE about topics you want to hear about. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by the amazing Asma Lootah. Hi, Asma.
Hi, Sara.
I am super excited to talk to you today. So I invited Asma to be on the show because she is founder of not only the coolest but longest running Pilates center in Dubai called 100 Wellness Center. And honestly, it's amazing to see Emirati entrepreneurs such as yourself running such great places like Pilates centers in Dubai. Please tell me your story and what got you started.
So I'll try to be brief as much as possible. It's a very long story. So the 100 Wellness Center started as the 100 Pilates studio. So it was a Pilates studio. I opened it in 2008 in Dubai Healthcare City. When I say the story and look back, I never realized that it was the second Pilates studio at that time in the UAE. And at that time when I opened it, I never realized this. But now when I tell the story, I can connect the dots. And till date is the longest standing, which is something I'm very proud of. And thank you so much. And the first, it's owned by the first Emirati female. So prior to opening the Pilates studio, I worked in a corporate job in Etisalat. Now they changed the name. So I worked for almost 5 years. I studied in the George Washington University and I graduated in 2000. And I came back to the UAE. When I started working, I was in the engineering department. I'm not an engineer at all, but I don't know how I ended up there, but I stayed there for 4 years. It was just plain engineering with servers in a basement. But at that time, I wanted to, like, my father is very strict where we need to work. We need to support ourselves financially. So I stayed there. And at one stage, I was not feeling happy. And my sister told me about this place. It actually was a massage place, but it was really beautiful place. And they had Pilates. So she said, Asma, I came across this thing, an exercise you might like. She said, called pilates. Because the the spelling is Pilates.
It's complicated,
and a lot of people, a lot of people think that I discovered Pilates in the US, but I discovered it here in Dubai. So I went to that place and I just loved it. I loved the teacher. I loved the group of men I was with. And I was literally like, I felt it changed my life. I was happy. I think because of, the teacher and the exercise, it raises endorphins and the community that we created. At that time, I was honestly, I was lost. I didn't know who I am. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was in the engineering department. I'm not an engineer. So I remember my brother had a book called Do What You Are. It had a lot of personality tests in it. So, I call this phase the self-discovery phase.
Nice.
I wanted to know who I am. So it's not like this book like changed my life, but it gave me some guidance to know who I am. And there is some personality tests in the book. And I realized that I tend to be creative, and I'm more, my star sign is Aquarius. And I don't know, I'm not sure if the listeners are even interested, but we're well known for being activists and human rights and, so we're a bit of, sorry?
I see. Yeah, I see.
So what I was doing in the engineering department, but I learned a lot. I'm very grateful for the experience. Actually, I became a certified system administrator and network administrator. And I installed the broadband server. I mean, I don't know. I think
I love this.
I think I just wanted to know, and I didn't want to give up. Anyway, to make the story, the long story short, as much as I can, I decided to go to the marketing department because I said maybe it's creative. But then, at some point, I was like, I really want to open my own business. I just don't like to come. We used to come from 7 to 3. There is no flexible hour, 7 a.m. to 3. And I'm not a person like my personality type is like a nomad. A nomad just want to
Flexibility.
like
Yeah.
flexibility. And we're talking back in 2000, maybe 2005 at that time. So, and then I was like, okay, I want to open my own business because, I just want to do whatever I want. But I didn't know what I wanted to open. And at the beginning, I said, you know what, maybe I will open a nail salon. There was no nail salons in Dubai. I did a market research. Yeah,
Wow.
that was, so because I graduated in 2000, and then at that time, because especially Dubai, also things in Dubai progress fast, even when there
Right.
is no. So anyway, and then I'm like, I did a market research, and I was like, but I don't want to do this does not reflect my personality, like I'm not into beauty, and but I am into fitness and wellness. But at that time, Sarah, I didn't know why that I was. But I'm
Hmm.
active my whole life, even when I was a kid. So I identified 3 questions, and I always, they stay with me, these questions, like they are like till now, like the answers changes. But I said I want to open something that so we established the fact that I want to be my own boss. I want to open a business.
Right.
So what do I want to open? I want to open something that I love, something that's going to give back, and something that's going to give back to people and my country as well. So it's not
Love
like
that.
something, back to my nature of being the human rights activist. I can be a lawyer.
It's a combination of all the things in your personality at the same time that'll make you happy in the long run. Yep.
Yes, it took a time, it took a time. First, I wanted to know who I am. And then I wanted to know, after I know who I am, I wanted to, I mean, more or less, I mean, I'm still searching.
Aren't we all?
So, and then, okay, I want to open my own business. Anyway, so then the Pilates studio that I used to practice in, they had issues and they wanted to shut it down. And that when, I was in the marketing department, and then that was 5 years into my corporate career. And then my brother told me, why don't you open a Pilates studio? And I'm like, yes, 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 yes. I want to open a Pilates. This is what I want. So I resigned, and then I began looking for a place. It's just, I just knew inside of me. I knew,
Right.
how it's gonna work. I don't know. I just felt that this is what I wanted to do. So I opened in 2008 in Dubai Healthcare City. It was called the 100 Pilates Studio. So it was just Pilates. It was very small. I did everything. I did the PR. I contacted my old teacher. She came back from South Africa.
Wow.
I researched. Yeah, I am still in touch with her. And I researched, I did everything by myself. The machines. I'm not a teacher, but I love the method. I love the system. And then in 2011, and it was a success. It was, I made it work. I remember, I used to have flyers. We were near Wafi Mall, and there is a gym, and I used to put flyers on the cars. I mean, really old
Wow.
fashioned.
Old school marketing. Yeah, I love it.
The thing is, I did whatever it took, for me to make it work.
So,
And then in
Esma, I want to hear more about kind of the challenges as well. I mean, the story of you creating such a beautiful wellness center, going holistically from Pilates to expanding beyond that. What kind of challenges do you feel were crucial to this journey, and how did you solve those?
So when I first opened in Dubai Healthcare City, because Dubai Healthcare City, it's more like toward medical and clinics. They categorize us as complementary and alternative medicine clinic, and they wanted to charge us, like really a lot of fees. as a clinic. And
Mm,
I had to fight and fight and fight and tell them this is an exercise system. You know, it's not, I don't see it as complementary and alternative medicine. I would see homeopathy, I will see Ayurveda, you know, maybe chiropractic. So, these are one of the challenges that I face, because they want us to be a clinic where when we didn't have a doctor. And then in 2011, I shifted to Jumeirah, where my father offered me a very old villa that he owns. And I just want to make it clear to the listeners, I didn't get things easy or on a silver platter. So my father is the kind of guy, he will just take me and throw me in the deep end, and he'll say, just go make it work.
sounds about
So,
right.
but I think, yeah, it's you know, it's very important to clarify to the listeners, we all face in a different way same challenges, you know, I mean, in
Right.
different ways.
Different
So
hardships.
then, you know, different hardships, you know. So so I took the opportunity, but the villa was so old, I decided to rebuild it. So I demolished the old villa again. I didn't even know how I was going to do it, but for some reason I believe in the visions I see. And you know, Sarah, I am a one woman show. I'm not backed by investors or you know, I had to work hard to make money
Of course.
to fund this business. So the first Pilates studio, the money that was I was doing from there, I was funding building this business. And then also I was, you know, we cannot deny the fact we're supported also by the government. So I got a fund from Khalifa Fund, but I had to
Nice.
also apply for it, and I had to do presentations, and that goes back to the personality test, where I'm a lawyer. Like, I can convince if I have a case that I believe in. So the challenges I face now when I build a center, you know, with the contractors, with negotiating prices, trying to cut costs right up front and left, you know, and then where people were not delivering. And, you know, at some point, I remember I was sitting in one of the studios. I swear to God, I was crying because they didn't do the windows like I wanted them to design. And
Not the
I was crying.
windows.
Because, you know, I have really attention to details,
I
and
can tell.
I have this vision in my head. And I mean, now I really don't care about the windows, but it's and even the challenges to convince the authorities, because we're not on a main road, and just to have a clinic. We are a clinic now. We are a DHA clinic. So to have a DHA license, to have a gym license, to have a coffee shop license. We sell also supplements. So to have all of this under one roof, you know, so I have to go and explain to them everything. So now for me, like, the trade license is a badge of honor where I want to frame it.
You worked hard for
Because
it. And Esma, I'd love to hear more about kind of any kind of inspiring moment or milestone in your journey that really made you feel like, wow, like this is it, you know, this is where I need to be.
you know, now when I look back, next month I'm going to be 50, in 2 weeks actually.
Happy
And
birthday.
when I thank you so much. When I see the team that I don't say we work together. The team that we have at the center, they're the most amazing people. Uh, um, uh, it was not easy. It was hard, because we work together as, you know, one team and one family, with a shared purpose in a different way. But uh, remind me of the question again. Sorry, I diverted.
It's okay. It's just basically my final questions for you are kind of what inspiring moment did you have that really made you feel like, you know, I've made it here, and a word of advice for listeners, please.
Also, you know, when I see the community that I created a platform for the community to come, whether they want to come to the coffee shop, whether they want to come to the organic farmers market. We have it on Saturday. My brother owns the
Very
farms,
cool.
so and and even if they will come to see the homeopath or the chiropractor and or for the Pilates, but also, you know, the back to what I was saying, the team that I built together with a shared mission and purpose, that I know that's, you know, that's when I doubt myself, when I see this, I feel like something I'm very proud of.
I love that. And do you have a final word of advice for listeners today, Asma?
Listen to your gut.
Yes.
Listen to your gut feeling.
Love that.
Yes.
Love
And
that.
then, you know, there is an inner voice. That inner voice, you know, when it tells you, you know, just go for it, there is many obstacles, there is many noises, there is many, you know, you, and okay, if you fail, what's going to happen? You will learn. But if you don't try, you will never know, right?
Very true. Very true. I love that. Thank you so much, Esma, for being so candid with your story and telling us all about the amazing wellness center that you've created. And I'm sure we're all going to be knocking on the doors now, trying to get our first appointment, whether it's Pilates or homeopathy or any of the other amazing services that you offer. But thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Sarah, for listening.
Of course. Take care.